When certain things happen, all of a sudden, within 20 minutes, there's 5 different meme coins, each worth $100 million market cap.
Memes are essentially becoming a symbol that carries a lot of emotion and energy and just human connection.
Memes have a unique ability to capture our attention. And we live in a day and age where everything is trying to be in front of us in this attention economy.
Meme coins itself are a representation of the value of attention.
The things that stick around are the things that evolve and adapt over time. To be human is to seek connection and relationships, and everything kind of boils down to that in a way.
When people first start entering like the meme coin market, it's like, is this just hyper gambling where things are going super fast and people are selling me hopium, like hope that I'm gonna make it in a day.
Our modern society alienates us all heavily, so anything that pulls that in is like a lot of value there.
Is the community a genuine community? Like when we say communities around meme coins, what do we mean by community when we say that? Is it we have shared interest in all getting rich together and we all find it funny together? But then is a real community something that once the price crashes, everyone pieces?
The market doesn't have more money than what's being put in, so somebody does lose.
A lot of my favorite parties are out in deserts or out in the snow or whatever, because it's like huge common adversary.
If memes were to become corporatized, they wouldn't be cool anymore, and it would become a little more annoying to deal with, or they would lose that fun edge that communities really enjoy.
The meme coins that are here to stay are the ones that made the most money for the most people.
TableTalks. It's TableTalks.
It's TableTalks. All right, hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the social future of memes. Memes are something that have become very pervasive in society. If you're wise, they fill your entire social media news feeds, or you get very rich off of them. In elections, I don't know if you guys have been following like the news recently, but when certain things happen, like, you know, a certain politician's ear gets shot, all of a sudden, within 20 minutes, there's 5 different meme coins, each worth $100 million market cap. There's something that follows us as we evolve as a society. It follows our attention, and it's something that is shaping how we interact with one another. Today, I have an awesome group of fellow panelists. I'm going to go one by one, so each of them could introduce themselves, starting with the awesome guy with the sunglasses.
I'm Chris, how you doing? Oh, yeah, I guess. I'm Chris, how you doing? I'm a Solana Maxi, born to transact fast. Just been in crypto since like 3 years, I think, and have seen a lot. And I'm passionate about big Ponzi's.
I'm Rick. I'm more active in the startup area of Web3, but also marketing, community, and psychology, and that's why I like memes. I don't like trading memes because I only lose, so don't take any advice of me, but I'm more the other aspect, so social, psychology, that's what I like.
I'm Shelby Schweitzer. I'm actually in the same boat there. I'm more in the marketing and community aspect of everything. I actually come from more of a gaming background, so I take everything I do and apply it to the Web3 gaming area. I've been building communities for about, 12 years or so, gaming communities specifically. I take everything that I know from psychology, neuroscience, and my life experience and apply it to strategies to bring people together and to create healthy communities. And I'm also a trader myself. I've actually been living off of meme coins for almost about 2 years, so it's been great.
Have a lot of advice for us.
Hey, I'm Aten. I'm coming in a lot more from the AI background, but am very fascinated by memetics and have been following this very closely. Had a social media startup of my own for a while, and then I've been in the Bitcoin space for 10 plus years, so I've certainly seen a lot of these cycles play out, and so I think we probably have different opinions on a lot of the memetic stuff, so interested to see where this conversation goes.
Can everyone hear all right? Anyone? Okay, awesome. Okay. Do you wanna come to the front row?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. And my name is Ali Siraj, a.k.a. the Flow Bro, and I do product in the Flow ecosystem. Really love digging into what real problems we're solving as builders, as a community. And I think like memes have been one of the strongest, meme coins specifically, have been one of the strongest signals in the last crypto cycle. So it's something very interesting to look at and try to dig deeper into what they are and what they're capable of doing for us. I think that's a great segue to start out with, what is a meme?
A meme is a vector. A meme is a vectors of quantum information, and it's a vectors of consciousness in a certain sense. It's a means of transmitting information between self-aware beings. A red light is a meme. Pepe is a meme. They're both information carriers, and they resonate within us in a certain level, depending on how much other thing you have around that meme, right? So they all entangle each other. But I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Sure. So to me, the concept of meme came from Dawkins' book, The Selfish Gene. So we've had it for 40 or maybe 45 years at this point of self-propagating information, right? And so to me, I use a very broad level definition of all of those things you mentioned are memes, but also to me, like, information propagates potentially even if something isn't self-aware, right? Like when birds are teaching each other how to use tools or something like this, or maybe even like, is information propagating like related to locality of information? If a rock rolls down a hill, is that like translation of information from one state to another state? Which is of super broad usage and like very different than how we're typically used to hearing it described.
Anyone want to add on what you think a meme is?
An artistic personification of an emotion, i.e. a symbol, something that is imbued into the very core of our being. That, for example, Pepe, right? You look at it and you're instantly, even on the subconscious level, even particular emotions are brought out of you. A particular feeling of connection to other people are also brought out of you. So I think with how, or I feel how our society has evolved, right? We've become more digital, and the line between reality and digital has become blurred, that memes are essentially becoming a symbol that carries a lot of emotion and energy and just human connection.
Yeah, I just want to add a short one. I think maybe it's a visual that sparks an emotion and that gathers people behind one common belief. But I think maybe there I'm speaking more of the crypto meme and not specifically what's a meme specifically, but that's maybe a segue into what we want to discuss here right now.
No, perfect. And
Let's talk meme coins.
It sounds like meme coins are a subset of like this greater archetype of what a meme is. And it sounds like it's this fascinating thing that's ephemeral, that transits information. And that information could be more permanent. Like you were mentioning, like, what was it, like the color, like a red light? Or it could be something that is much more like pervasive in society, like the meme of the Pepe the Frog, or the guy walking with his girlfriend and looking over his shoulder at the other girl, right? That we've all seen before. But it also seems that memes have a unique ability to capture our attention. And we live in a day and age where everything is trying to be in front of us in this attention economy. How do you think the meme coins that we're seeing today relate to attention specifically?
You've been living off meme coins for 2 years, so you must have an answer for this one.
Because here's the thing. You trade attention.
Yes.
Exactly. How does attention relate to meme coins?
So, for context, a little bit of context here, I am an ex-esports gamer. So I believe that when it comes to trading meme coins, for example, there is a strategy behind it. And there is a form of, doing your research, looking into the communities, connecting with other people. It depends on the kind of content. You can even contribute to these communities to drive the value of that meme coin. We're very powerful beings, and there's a lot we can do ourselves, and there's a lot we can do to tie other people in. So, I mean, really, I see it as more... It's more than the attention, really. It's about, again, the connection and how strong that connection is to other people and how well that can resonate with people outside of that community to bring more people in. So there's definitely a strategy to it when you're, for example, looking for meme coins to invest in. It's very volatile. Again, it's very community driven. So it's almost like a new form of a financial model in a way. So it's more of a community-driven approach as opposed to, you know, relying on other like facets like news and stuff like that. So it's new. Essentially, it's more than gambling. It's more like I don't know. I don't really I don't really know, but.
Can we in one sense say that like meme coins itself are a representation of the value of attention in a way?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the more people purchasing a meme coin, like the more worthy it is of attention.
Yeah, like if I see something and I think that thing has value or I find it funny in a way, then I know that other people might find it funny too. And if I haven't seen it everywhere yet, but I'm giggling with it, then I'm pretty sure other people might giggle about it. So maybe that has value. I mean, is that a way to think about it?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Attention is a part of that equation, but I do want to ground in reality that there's a lot more dynamics going on within a chart than just the attention. I feel like the people who buy and sell them, you know, too.
Yes, of course.
But I think attention is a prerequisite for a pump, because you need the belief. Basically, what motivates you to buy into something? First of all, your own greed, number one. I think it's not necessarily greed. It's like, you know, you're here. You're very aware that profitability is your goal with meme coins and having fun. I mean, this touches on gambling, but yeah, I lost my train of thought. But yeah.
Well, when you're looking at a meme coin, what kind of signifiers are you searching for to see if it's going to be worthy of aping into or not?
I talk so much.
I personally look into what the meme is, and again, to touch on this point, the level of connection that the community members have between each other, how passionate they are, how engaged they are amongst each other, and how they're tying that to something outside of themselves. So I look at it from more of that lens first. Then I get into the technicalities of like, okay, well, what's the market cap at? Like, let's look into the numbers, let's look into all of the math and everything. But I first start out with the general feeling, right? The feeling that you get. So, because again, it's all about connection, and it's about really, you know, how well is this meme resonating amongst people? And then it's I don't really know how else to explain it, but it's like a feeling type of thing. It's very psychological in a way. And psychological and, you know, the technical aspect of things blend really well together. It's just hard to really, you know, define that line, but that's very intuitive, I would say. But.
I'm the worst meme trader, so I'll give it to you.
I mean, I'm not trading memes, but I think there's so like to me, when I think about this, I think about thought forms, you know, and egregors, right? Like this idea of like these abstract manifestations of like our reality higher up, you know, kind of influencing things, certainly like the feel and the vibe. I certainly think a lot about this, also on the agents. And I also want to point out that it's fascinating to me that on the AI side, attention is all we need is the focus. And then over here, we're like playing with it in this other context. But my question is, do you feel like that the Mudang, you know, meme coin is going to like continue to represent a meaningful community in 2 years? Or so, you know, something along those lines. What's the value prop there?
So that really depends on the adaptability of the meme. Is it going to stay relevant? Are they able to continue to adapt this meme to evolve with the changing times? So that's really, I believe, with, you know, where a meme has the, you know, the difference between a short term and the long-term sustainability factor is how it's really just about adaptability. Can this meme evolve over time? Like a great example would be, let me think of one that's not crypto related, but like, you know, like hello there, like from Star Wars. Like that's a great one. Like it fits in with the times and you can constantly evolve it. Or like you said, the guy looking over his shoulder, right? That meme. You can take that meme and you can change it, you can alter it to fit any narrative. So that's another great example. So as long as that meme has the ability to sustain in that type of way, I would say yes. Personally, I think Mudang will stay for a while, but I'm kind of iffy about that one, to be honest.
This is such a good point, because the dog with hat, you scroll Twitter, you see hats on everything. You see Donald Trump with a hat, you see Elon with hat, Kobe with hat. You don't see Kamala with a hat, but but yeah, that's very. Is the meme able to propagate itself through its components? Will humans resonate with that?
Yeah. It goes outside of memes as well. I mean, if you really take a step back, it's like akin to human evolution, right? The things that stick around are the things that evolve and adapt over time. So if it can't do that, it's definitely going to die out over time. There will still be members of those communities until they finally trickle off and die out. But it's almost like evolution, and so everything kind of mirrors itself, and if you can take a step back, you start to see how everything is repetitive and contributes to something forward.
That's fascinating. It sounds like memes intrinsically, building on your point, have a composability factor. And like when we look at Web3 as a whole, like one of the major value propositions of smart contracts, of everything being like open source and public, is that you can compose on top of one another. It essentially means that when you innovate once, when you solve a problem once, it's permanently solved. But it also means that there are infinite potential manifestations that can be built on top of that meme. Like this social interaction, this meme could be perfect there, and it could be versatile enough to fit into 1,000 others. An example that I would give of composability in the video game world is games like Warcraft 3. They made a mod called Defense of the Ancients that was composed on top of the base game. And that inspired new games like League of Legends and Dota, which both became the #1 played PC games respectively, or Skyrim, which was a game made almost a decade ago. If you look at it today, over a decade after it was released, there are billions of downloads and people creating new memes, mixing ChatGPT, Whisper AI to create new non-two-dimensional characters that can have conversations with you. Things that the original creators of the game, similar to the original creators of the meme, couldn't have possibly imagined. And I think that composability aspect might give way to the permanence of that meme and how long it survives. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I also think you can like categorize memes into many different types of memes, right? Like you see Pepe popping up where like you have the whole Pepe family is suddenly all different memes, different colors. Like that's one category. Then you have the celebrity coins. Like I don't even know, can you put that under meme coins or is that a separate category? Then you have news tokens. Like whenever something happens, news happens, there's a meme coin representing that news. There's so many different potential meme coins, and I think, for example, that Pepe family, that's something that can live forever. If there's a news-related token, like, for example, the Bowden, right? Bowden and Trump were all the hype, and then suddenly Bowden gets out of the elections, Biden, and then suddenly that token is not worth anything anymore because it's very news-related. Maybe Mudang is the same. Like, I don't really see a future how Mudang can be reproduced and will become an icon in the whole internet sphere.
Again.
And on that news-related facts, we were discussing this before, right? If people can buy a certain piece of news, if they think, oh, I'm early to this news, like if I could buy 9/11 when 9/11 happened, I think I would still be holding my 9/11, and that would maybe be worth more now than it was back then.
I think this is a very interesting point of the meme coins that launch on Pump Fund based on these events in the real world are definitely a signal of how significant these events are and how many people probably will know about the event, or the expectation of how much this event will spread, because then the attention comes, because these news coins, as you say, which is a really good way of saying it, it's measuring, like Peanut, you see? Peanut went up high, Elon tweeted about it. Of course he went up high. Goat was a whole thing, you know, because it's like, oh, it's a new AI that shitpost. They created a meme, you know. It's new, it's big. So I feel like the more attention, this is that's a very good point. News coins.
And to kind of touch on that too, it's a bit of social signaling as well. Yeah. So you're owning pieces of essentially like history. You're owning pieces of events that have happened, you know, news, all the different categories. You own these things, and you have a way of, you know, connecting with other people in these communities that, you know, bring you closer together. And so, in a way, again, it's social signaling. It's a way to bond and create, you know, new friendships with people. And again, to be human is to seek connection and relationships, and everything kind of boils down to that in a way. And so, I just wanted to add that part as well.
It does sound, based on what we're saying here, that meme coins are a type of like social application as we see them nowadays. Like you were mentioning how you look at the social aspects of, are people commenting, is the communities engaged? A lot of people look at if there is a Twitter like handle on it, if there's a strategy for to get more people into the community, an expansion strategy, right? And building on top of that, the group feeling that is created, right? There's an emotional aspect created. Maya Angelou is reported to have said that people don't remember what you say or do, but how you make them feel. And memes elicit positive affect, right? And there is value in affect. What do you guys, like, do you guys think that something can be a meme without emotion attached to it?
I mean, yeah, it's us humans who, it's our brains that make the emotion, isn't it? So the meme itself, it doesn't have, it's just a piece of information. I don't feel like memes are, they don't inherently have emotion. It's the humans that associate. It's our trigger.
It's what we said before, right? Like the meme is the medium, or the meme is the message. Like which one of the two? But it's the human who interprets it, who is going to feel something about it, or maybe not. And that's also whoever might become interested in that meme, or if you don't feel anything, maybe it's not. Maybe that's not even answering your question. But is it in line with what,
if I show my mom Pepe, she's gonna have a certain emotion. If I show her Pepe, she's different.
She's gonna feel like, yes, Pepe paid for my last 6 months, so I feel good about it.
Exactly. Then we're gonna become best friends. We're gonna be like, did we become best friends?
Yeah.
It's
I mean, okay, so then I'll devil's advocate a little bit here of just, I can totally understand the mimetic feeling of connectivity. Also, our modern society alienates us all heavily, so anything that fills that in, there's like a lot of value there. But I'm still somewhat skeptical as to the tie in between, particularly news coins, and like how much does own, and I think about like the famous NFT project of buying tweets, right? Of like, it was a whole thing, social signaling, all these mechanisms, and now obviously the bottom is totally gone from this whole idea. When I think about news coins especially, but all of the stuff, Mudang included, I'm like, okay, to me this is just like a small group of people trading money back and forth in a casino-like environment where the money doesn't leave the casino very much. Definitely all these things are playing in, but I'm wondering, again, 2 years from now, is the connection in between collective consciousness and price action? I don't know. That's where I'm hazy.
Because speculation fits into that a lot,
of
right?
Course, sure.
I think you can look at this as well as like the news coins, for example, that you say where certain news pops up and then dies out again, right? And it's like 99.9% of all these meme coins that get launched, like all of them go to no value at a certain point within 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, right? There's only like the 0.1% that maybe keeps some value in a way. And I guess with news, like there's only a few significant events that we still have in our heads of the past 20 years, right? So maybe these significant events still have value if they have a token or meme coin. Maybe also not. Who knows?
Are you shilling your 9/11 coin?
It's just an idea. I think like we are trading news these days. I mean, I'm not, but he is. Like if he sees Peanut on the timeline, he buys Peanut, not knowing where Peanut will be after 4 days.
I literally wake up and I buy. I did that this morning.
Buy first, research later. I think that's something in meme industry as well, right?
Yeah, that definitely for sure. Yeah, it's kind of that I feel is a little more gambly, but I do that as well. Yeah. I'll wake up in the morning. Sometimes I'll be like, I'll get a little bit of this and that and this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great.
It's good.
Yeah.
So, and I do think that's something that a lot of us feel like, or when people first start entering like the meme coin like market, it's like, is this just hyper gambling where things are going super fast and like people are selling me hopium, like hope that I'm gonna make it in a day, or is there something more substantial there? Is the community a genuine community? Like when we say communities around meme coins, what do we mean by community when we say that? Is it we have shared interest in all getting rich together and we all find it funny together, but then is a real community something that once the price crashes, everyone pieces? Is like what do we mean when we even say we're looking for a community when we look at these meme coins?
Well, I think this is different levels of, okay, are you looking from the outside, or are you someone on the side of you're hanging out in a villa in Thailand with 8 of your friends and somebody sends a CA in the chat and you all buy it and you either make a bunch of money together or you lose all your money and then you laugh about it. Like, what's it really comes down to community, because I think what is the community? It is made up of a lot of these 8-person groups hanging out on the porch in front of the pool. You know it. They might be sending out virtually in that pool, but it's a lot of these people. So
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point of what community like we're actually talking about. Like, are we talking about a community of meme coin traders, or are we talking about a community of meme coin believers? Like, the meme coin traders will go and check out the meme coin believers community to see if there's real believers, and then they buy it if it's confirmed. There's, I think, multiple different communities actually being active in this whole meme ecosystem.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I do think it's multifaceted. There are, again, many different types of people involved in this space, but they are still contributing to a whole. Yeah. So yeah.
Ball is king.
Yep, exactly.
We mentioned winning together. Is winning together a genuine, like, social cohesion mechanism of support, or is it more a marketing tactic to dupe people into shilling your coin?
Don't be such a doomer.
Elaborate.
Of course,
Wag me, baby.
the prosperity breeds more prosperity. It's always good, but I mean, if you do want to be a doomer, you have to look at the whole market, because somewhere that money comes in, and somewhere that money goes out, right? So there's always the market the market doesn't have more money than what's being put in, so somebody does lose, but winning together does make you. I do feel that winning together as a team definitely forms you. I mean, just look at sports.
And since my previous comment was negative, I'll also say that there is something about the common. There's common. I think the common adversary is huge, and like this is something that builds community in lots of ways. A lot of my favorite parties are out in deserts or out in the snow or whatever, because it's like huge common adversary. And so I think that there's very much something there. I do wonder about how much of some of these narratives are there to help keep the machine running. But that's also like, it is very interesting for me to watch the self-awareness of that within some of the community of like, some folks kind of know they're doing greater fool investing and are just like playing comfortably in that, which makes my mind explode a little bit.
The point on prosperity and like winning together and how the money must come from one place and go to another, isn't that indicative of it almost being like the house always wins? Like news coins are typically a type of like zero-sum game, assuming that we're separating like news coins from like genuine community coins. What do you think if someone were to say like, those types of meme coins don't actually create prosperity? You just make money, you and your friends make money if someone else and their friends are your exit liquidity for coming in after you.
Well, you don't shill, you don't. Well, first of all, you don't use your friends as exit liquidity. It's key.
Use the people that are not the people at the villa hanging up at the pool. The other people, those
I think.
do all together.
Yes, exactly. So I think you must respect the personal freedoms of people. The market is the market. You decide to enter the market or you don't. It's up to you. And it is not the market. It is not the other people that. Let's say my P&L on a meme coin is 98.88% minus, right? Whose fault is it? Is it the people that made money? No, it's my entrance and my not selling or selling. That's the truth of it. So I do believe that the personal freedom and personal actions of the people are the main factor, and the market just does what the market does. The market is just a facilitator between actions of different people. Because you did if you made 100x on something and I lost 50% of my money, we did the same actions just in different times.
Yeah.
It's a good point of like the the actions, like what's my entry and what's my exit, because my friend could buy the same token as I do. He could make a lot of money and I forget to sell. I just never sell and I lose all my money, right?
Accidentally.
Yeah, exactly. There's many ways that things can be fucked up in a way, or for yourself, for your own P&L, right? Like you can hold something an hour longer as someone else and lose all your money while the other one has a 10x within an hour, right? Like, and so many factors that are involved there as well, such as dev sold. There's like so many different things that actually play onto that chart, as Chris
That's why you
says.
tip your dev so he doesn't sell.
Exactly. And tip your friends, right? So they don't dump on you.
Yeah, if someone sends a CA to the chat and you make 100x, definitely give them a tip. Yeah, tip your dealer.
Was there something you wanted to add? Is it possible for meme coins to evolve in the future into something more functional and valuable beyond the speculation? Where do you think that meme coins can be in the next 5 to 10 years?
Can I just very briefly say that I think the speculation is a core part of the value.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Do you think it can evolve into something in addition to the speculation?
Signal.
I do think that the meme coins or meme coin community is a good entry point to building an actual community of people believing in one thing. And then once you have established that community, let's say, you can always offer that presence of community to other projects that actually need visibility. Like, for example, I build a meme coin and suddenly I have 50K wallets and I have a 200K Twitter following. Then now I can go to another project and say, hey, I have this community. If you want eyeballs, let's do an AMA. Hey, if you want this, if you want to achieve that, come over to us, because we have a degen community that is invested in memes, and that's your target audience. So we can work together, and that's how you can create value for the meme community itself as well. That's how revenue could come in. That's how suddenly you go from a meme, a token that has zero value, to actually a token that represents a community that then also can get revenue into that ecosystem, and then maybe even can start building. Look at Shiba or Floki, right? The OG memes, but they actually building something now.
Are they?
They are.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you don't see Shiba in the top 10 meme coin gainers.
Yeah.
Do you?
It's also super big, right?
I think it's a very interesting move to do anything with the meme coin. Look at Bonk. Bonk has, I mean, people say, the mind share is like Bonk is a technology company now, it's like because they build all these tools and whatnot. But
they started somewhere.
All due respect, Bonk has been a stable coin for a while, and it will start to pump at one point, and it will be very wild.
But it's normal to be a stable coin after doing 100x.
Yeah, exactly. But the interesting thing is that the market does feel, I do feel the market has the sense of price discovery being free to itself, and when there's other things attached to something, then the price discovery has more vectors to basically limit itself, because whiff is just whiff. It's just a dog with a hat, and there's nothing else. So there's the price discovery is what can it go to? It can go to $100. Yeah. You never know. But if whiff would have something, then it would be like, oh, it can't go to 10 billion because now it has this tool that this other tool has a coin and they're at 10 million market cap, so this can go there. It's you gotta have this emergent behavior,
It starts with the meme.
Yeah.
And the community can come together in a way and do something with that attention. I think that's more the premise. It's not that suddenly WIF is going to build a chain because they build up a treasury. WIF is WIF. And then, but like if the WIF community comes together and suddenly they pool together, let's say a few million, then they could maybe build something.
They did pull together
for the sphere, right?
$670,000.
True, but that's the thing, right? That's community coming together, putting money behind something that they want to achieve, and they did that together.
And you see a similar trend with like Doge, where people come together and like either host parties or even create an entire chain like dedicated to it, right? So it does seem like it can evolve into different directions, and the community could create tools and things on top of it that create like real value for people. Do you think that evolution detracts from the original value of the meme in any way?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. I think it anchors it in a certain way, definitely. Because then that thing becomes the thing, you know. Like it's part of it now. It's real. Yeah, it's stable. It doesn't have that quantum. Yes, it is. So, I don't know. I like memes that don't have anything attached to them. It's just memes and just price action, and all you see is green candles. I think that's the most positive EV hyperstition that one can get.
I think something that we may see in the future as a potential, I'm going to use TikTok as an example here. So TikTok was, me personally, because I'm a little younger, was really fun to use, you know, back in like 2017, 2018. It was, you know, it was fresh. There were no ads. There were no big companies on it. There was not a lot of marketing. There weren't like, you know, TikTok Shop. All of these things weren't there yet. So it was actually a lot more fun to use. As soon as it started to become corporatized, and I agree with this, and I side with this with memes as well. I feel like if memes were to become corporatized, they wouldn't be cool anymore, and it would become a little more annoying to deal with, or they would lose that fun edge that communities really enjoy, you know, I guess like participating in together. So I feel like if the memes start to become corporatized in that type of way, I feel like that virality factor, or that, you know, that like fun factor, that feeling like you're participating in something, you know, outside of yourself, would kind of go away a little bit, you know.
But if you do it well,
yeah.
it can be plus EV.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
but
yeah.
It's just really hard to do.
It's tricky. Yeah.
If Flog would come out with a swap, I would be like, fuck your swap. You know?
What do you mean by corporatized when you say that?
So when I say that, I kind of, my background again is in gaming. So I've worked for indie studios and I've worked for traditional studios. And so there's this term that we use in gaming called corporate gaming, which is more like these AAA titles. Everything's a lot more like formalized, and, you know, basic marketing strategies and things like that. There's a lot less connection to your community in a way. There's a lot less, you know, your developers aren't really communicating to everyone. There's just a lot less connection, and things feel more like a business where people are just numbers as opposed to being recognized as humans. So I feel like when I use the word corporatized, you know, the meme would exist, right? And it would be leveraged to grow something larger than itself. The community may come together, but at the same time, if it becomes this type of like corporate entity where it doesn't, you know, foster a sense of community, it fosters a sense of let's just try to make more money and view other people as, you know, essentially like dollar signs, and kind of convey that feeling. That's kind of what I mean by that.
I think Chris is buying some memes right now. I think he needed
He's
that itch to scratch.
Really?
He's on his bongbot buying.
The addictive nature, eh?
I wanted to add to
Yes.
this point. I like the aspect of the corporatization. I feel like that sounds a lot like altcoins, where a project has a vision, they build a product, they launch a token, and then they want to build a community through that token. And then they want to all gather the community behind that project, behind the vision, and get everybody aligned there. That's like the classical model of an altcoin, right? And then if you look at these altcoins that are actually successful, right, like that are still being talked about even though we are years later, are the ones that actually made money for the community. The community is still excited because they made money on this token, right? Because back in the days, valuations make sense, they buy in, and they actually have a chance to make money. I think with meme coins, it's exactly the same, right? The meme coins that are here to stay are the ones that made the most money for the most people. And that means that more people will stay talking about it and will stay excited about it, and maybe even keep getting reminded of that feeling they once had when they made that money. And I think that's a very important aspect, not only for meme coins, also for projects or builders, to make sure that your community in one way or another has success together with you, and not just invest in you so that you can have the success, but have success together with the community. Otherwise, you're not going to make it.
And just, I also think, thinking on the corporatization thing, that like meme coins are kind of immunized against capitalist corporation control, because they like can't be just sucked in to the machinery that's so used to doing that. And I do, from the outside, certainly see this unique amount of like us versus the man type of a vibe, right? And like, how many opportunities does the average human get to be outside of a lot of these systems? I think meme coins is like the first chance, and there's a lot of pressure there that kind of can get captured.
What is a community takeover and why do they happen?
Dev cheated. CTO. Here. TG link.
What? Dex is paid. Number one. That's how you start. You pay the Dex. And then you go on Pump Fun, and then you write in the comments Dev cheated, and then you post CTO link, and it's a Telegram group chat link.
But what does CTO mean?
Community takeover.
What is that?
It's when the dev cheats and you're like, fuck you.
What does
I
cheat
have
mean?
Dev sold.
The dev
Do you want to give it
sells.
to Eric?
Yeah, the dev sells.
So it's when the people that launched the coin
They sell their
essentially
sec-
sell everything
Yeah.
and take all the money with them.
Yeah.
And then all the people that
They
have
rug
bought
it,
the
basically.
coins are left with valueless, like millions of valueless tokens.
Yeah.
And they refuse to give up and refuse